Evan had, after the revival, a different ministry. He wrote a lot of letters to people to encourage them all over the world. And it gave him great joy to know that the work of the revival was continuing, although he wasn't present in Wales. It was a work of God. He had quite a lot of criticism, which hurt him a lot, because some people said it wasn't a work of the Holy Spirit. But the truth of it was that the vast majority of people who became Christians during the revival, they were faithful to God for the rest of their lives. And if it hadn't been a work of God, that wouldn't have happened. And so Evan lived many years in Leicester, and then after that he had to go down to the south of England to live, to Brighton and Worthing. He didn't get married, but he always lived with family, so he was never on his own. And then the last 20 years of his life, he lived in Cardiff. He lived a very quiet life, away from his family most of the time. He came back very briefly to this area when his father wasn't very well, and when his father died in the 1920s, and he attended some meetings in the local post office, which were led by some of his old revival colleagues. And so Evan's influence on those meetings was considerable. People were excited that the revival might start again. It didn't start again, but they were times of great blessing. But 1904, 1905 was special. In Wales, we have a national game of rugby. It's played with a ball that's flat. No, it's not a more oval shape, you know? And the men love their rugby in Wales. But during the revival, there weren't enough men to play rugby because all the men were in the chapels rather than in the rugby clubs. And if you look at the lists of the rugby captains of each year, then there was nobody for 1904, 1905 in some of the rugby clubs because there wasn't a team. What a difference, isn't it? The only thing that has stopped rugby in Wales was the revival and COVID. But yes, they're back playing rugby now, and sometimes they sing in the rugby matches a hymn that was sung by that gentleman over there, who was another revivalist, lived in the 1700s. His name was William Williams. There were many revivals in Wales. There's a poster over there which says Wales, the land of revival. 1904 was the last revival in Wales. So it's a very long time, and we ask all our visitors if they would pray for Wales. The church is very, very small, but we are encouraged that people are coming from other countries to visit and sometimes to work in our churches as well. And those were the ministers of the Calvinistic Methodist Church, which we belong to, in 1909. And we have on the wall, the other side of the window, we have on the left the building you're in now. On the right, there is a little house which was attached to that wall over there where the caretaker lived. it was taken down to build that building next door 6 years before the revival. So that was a new building when the revival broke out. And this building, although it was built in 1842, it was renovated a year before the revival in 1903. So that was well timed also. God was preparing the way. In the corner there we have a revival history timeline, and that tells you all about the various revivals in history. On this long bench here, you'll see some leaflets on Mariah. If you want one, you're welcome to take them, it's free, and bookmarks as well. At the back of this leaflet, you have got our website address, and you'll see a lot of what you see around you on our website. So, although you might like to take photographs, and there's nothing stopping you taking photographs, I tried taking photographs earlier this week of some of these boards, but I found that there was a shine on the boards, and what I could see, I couldn't read everything that I was taking a photograph of. So you're probably better off just looking at the website for those photographs of the boards. You've got 2 pictures of Evan at the back there, above the boards, and a picture of Evan's parents in the middle. And the story of the revival is all around you. And at the very end of that display here, you can see a picture, 3 pictures of Evan as an older man. He died when he was 7.